Picture this, your skis are racked, your gloves are off. It's 4 p.m. on a March powder day, and you've had the most incredible day of skiing. And the best part is that you live here. So where is here exactly? Well, today we're gonna figure out if here is in Crested Butte or if here is in Telluride, and which town feels right when it's not necessarily a powder day. We'll see how the two towns stack up against each other and which one you like the most. I'm Heather Woodward with Living in Crested Butte, Colorado. Welcome to my channel. If you've been thinking about making a move to Crested Butte, Gunnison, or the surrounding areas, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can be the first to know all the ins and the outs and everything in between, including the current real estate market. Love helping people just like you. So if you are moving here in 6 days from now, 60 days from now, or 6 months from now, you're moving across the world, across the country, or up and down the valley, feel free to give me a call, text, or an email. You can even set up a Zoom meeting with me. All of my contact information is down in the description below. I'd love to make your move exactly the way you want it to be. So both places deliver world-class snow, jaw-dropping scenery, and yes, eye-watering price tags. One of the biggest differences between Crested Butte and Telluride, actually in my book, starts with the geography. And that is something that I don't think that people always think about when they are considering either town, or any town, mountain town for that matter. It may not be in the forefront of the pros and cons, but here's why I think it should be. So Crested Butte sits in a broad, high altitude valley. So think big sky, big sunsets, and sunlight all winter. That's important. Telluride is cradled in this gorgeous, dramatic box canyon. Waterfalls, sheer walls, and shorter winter daylight for you because of the topography. And while that scenery is absolutely stunning, it does mean that Telluride gets less sunlight, especially during certain times of the year, especially in the wintertime. Crested Butte, being in a valley, tends to feel brighter and more open year-round. So neither is better, but they can have a very different feel from day to day and season to season. All right, let's talk about skiing. In Crested Butte, the ski resort is not in town at all. You have the historic town of Crested Butte, and then 5 minutes up the road, you've got Mount Crested Butte, where Crested Butte Mountain Resort is located. That separation gives some options, and you're getting basically two towns for one in one valley, so to speak. You can live in town or live outside of town, enjoy walkable streets, restaurants, and schools, and community life. Then you head up to the mountain to ski. Or you can live slopeside for true ski in, ski out convenience. Telluride is set up a little bit differently. In Telluride, the ski resort rises right out of town. You can walk to Main Street and hop on a lift. The gondola connects you from town to Mountain Village above, making skiing more a part of everyday life rather than a separate destination. Both setups are fantastic. They just support different lifestyles. All right, one of my favorite similarities between the two towns is something that sounds so small, but you're gonna hate living at either of these locations if you need 4 lanes and fast moving traffic. So neither Crested Butte nor Telluride has a single stoplight. Life runs on mountain time, and it truly slows down. Everything slows down. It's a subtle reminder that mountain life operates on a whole different clock. Getting to these towns is another big difference. While Telluride does have its own regional airport, which, by the way, is the highest commercial airport in North America, most people primarily fly in and out through Montrose, which has a larger, more reliable airport with consistent commercial flights year-round. From Montrose, it's about an hour-and-a-half drive to Telluride. That accessibility makes Telluride especially appealing for second homeowners, frequent travelers, and people flying in and out often. Crested Butte can be a little harder to reach. There is an airport in Crested Butte, or just right outside of town, but it's a private airport. You will fly into the Gunnison Regional Airport, which is 30 minutes away. It's similar to Montrose. Montrose, I would say, has more commercial flights coming in and out than Gunnison, but Gunnison does offer commercial flights coming in and out on a daily basis and yearly basis. So for some people, this accessibility to airports or lack thereof can be a true downside to any mountain living for both of these towns, and especially if you travel for work. For us personally, we make that work and we'll fly in and out of Gunnison or Montrose, and sometimes we'll go to Denver to fly in and out, just depending on, flights and the cost of those flights. All right, community vibe. These towns feel different, and this can be a sticky point with some, so don't come at me in the comments. Crested Butte has a reputation for being funky, authentic, and deeply rooted in its mining, ranching, and ski town history. It's a place where people tend to stay, where kids grow up, and where locals actually live year-round. Telluride feels a little bit more polished and a little bit more international. It is definitely more refined, more curated, and undeniably more luxurious than Crested Butte. It is also stunningly beautiful, but it does have more of a destination town feel than it does in Crested Butte. So think of it like this. Crested Butte is that favorite flannel you've owned for 15 years and you refuse to throw away. Telluride is that designer jacket that fits perfectly, turns heads. Both are great, you just wear them for different reasons. All right, let's segue into year-round residents, because that's a big difference between the two communities as well. When you look at the year-round population, both towns are small, but there are some differences. Crested Butte is slightly larger, with its surrounding areas that have 3,000 to 4,000 year-round residents. Telluride sits a little closer to 2,500 to 3,000 full-time residents. Both towns will swell dramatically during ski season and especially during summer, including summer festivals. Crested Butte does tend to have more full-time working families, while Telluride has a higher percentage of second homeowners. The economies reflect that difference as well. Crested Butte's economy is driven by the ski resort, Western College University, and the hospital in nearby Gunnison, the trades community, and local businesses. It's a working town with another bedroom community like Gunnison close by. Sometimes the two communities do blend and overlap in similarities. Telluride's economy is driven heavily by luxury tourism, high-end second home ownership, some festivals and things going on in and around town, and some private wealth. There is more money, in my opinion, flowing through Telluride than there is in Crested Butte. And at the end of it, it creates more pressure on housing and affordability. We saw this recently with Telluride Ski Patrol striking over wages. So more on this here in just a moment. Telluride is also known to have more of a celebrity presence. I'm sure you've read online or, in other publications that, there are some celebrities coming in and out of Telluride, and it's long been a place where high-profile individuals own homes and value their privacy there. Crested Butte has celebrities too, but they're going to tend to blend in. You're going to be on the bus or at the grocery store with them, rather than shutting down a restaurant for a private dinner. That difference pretty much sums up the vibe. All right, so both towns are known for festivals and events, and those reflect in their personalities. We're gonna have the similar, food and wine festivals. We're gonna have music festivals. Telluride just does that on a little bit of a bigger scale. We also have more festivals in Gunnison that we participate in, like Cattlemen's Days. I feel like we have a little bit more mountain bike racing and trail events and a little bit more community-driven local events versus Telluride. All right, so real estate really is where the gap is impossible to ignore. I'll just say that real estate here in Crested Butte is not cheap. However, Telluride has seen some of the highest real estate sales in Colorado next to Aspen, with properties selling well into the $40 to $50 million range and beyond. Price per square foot in Telluride is consistently higher across the board than it is in Crested Butte. All right, Crested Butte is expensive. There is no question about that. But it does offer more of a range. So you're gonna find primary homes, those could be historic homes as well, condos, and properties that still make sense for full-time living, especially when you consider Gunnison, which is a bedroom community 30 minutes away from Crested Butte. And when I say bedroom community, I mean that there's some people that may work in Crested Butte that actually live in Gunnison, and that's the same for CB South as well. Telluride, the real estate often feels more of a luxury investment grade property than full-time living. Housing affordability has become a major topic in both towns, especially lately in Telluride. Telluride recently made national headlines when their ski patrol went on strike over pay and housing affordability. And this is highlighting the elephant in the room that doesn't get talked about enough, that it's difficult for workers to live and work in the same community. Crested Butte also faces housing challenges too, but the conversation feels a little bit more community focused and long-term rather than a crisis-driven conversation. And finally, neither town is just a winter destination. Crested Butte in the summer is known for world-class mountain biking, endless hiking trails, and wildflowers that take over the entire valley. Telluride in the summer offers waterfalls, alpine hikes, dramatic terrain, and resort-driven summer season that just feels as polished in the summer as it does in the winter. Both are exceptional and equally stunning. I can assure you that you won't be disappointed hiking, biking, or playing in either valley. So when it comes down to choosing between Crested Butte and Telluride, it's not really about which one is better. Crested Butte tends to attract more people who want community, sunlight, space in a town that feels a little bit more lived in. Telluride tends to attract people who value luxury, easy access, ski in, ski out living, and a little bit more of a global destination. Crested Butte feels like a place you live, and Telluride feels like a place that you visit. And if you're trying to decide between the two, the real question isn't about skiing at all. It's how you want your everyday life to feel when it's not a powder day. So all right, if you're thinking about buying and you want to skip the usual headaches, reach out. We'll map out your timeline, fine-tune your budget, and build a plan that works for your goals. I'm Heather Woodward, and whether you're moving across town, across the country, or across the world, I'm here to make your move exactly the way you want it to be. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button so that you stay in the know with everything happening in the Valley. Until next time. Okay, so it looks like you're making a move to Crested Butte or Gunnison, Colorado, and you're trying to decide which video to watch. You could watch this one, or you could watch this one, or you could watch both because they're both really going to help you out and they're both really good. But go ahead, just pick one.